Welcome to the backstages of Tuska. We are on day 3 and I managed to catch beautiful Diana from DELAIN. Hi.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for giving us your time. How are you? How has this year been for you? It has been a crazy ride, right?
Yes, so crazy. I mean, we did a tour in April, a European tour, and then we started playing festivals, and it's such a roller coaster, but it's a cool one. I mean, I've dreamed about this for so many years.
Yeah.
Of doing this and playing shows and just seeing the world, and it's such a good feeling that I can finally do it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I can see it in your eyes. You're like glowing.
It's the makeup.
No, it's you. It's your beautiful soul. Anyway, you have big boots to fill. How was it to jump to be a fronting lady to such a big band and being like composing them and performing them and stuff?
Well, it hasn't been easy, of course, because I know people have huge expectations from me. But at the same time, I try to stay grounded.
Yes.
And think, you know what, you have to be yourself. People are always going to criticize you either way. You cannot make everybody happy. Just be yourself, enjoy what you're doing. Know your why, because that's really important. Like, why are you doing this?
Yes.
And just staying grounded and just focusing on my craft, on my singing, and practicing a lot, trying to become better, every day, and just working a lot on my vocals, on the songs. Yeah, but it hasn't been easy, of course, because I've jumped into this new thing, like from zero, from ground zero, and but my bandmates, the guys from DELAIN have been just incredible to me.
Yes.
Like, we're all friends, and they support me and they help in so many ways. So I'm really grateful.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Actually, I think it's the most important thing, that you have the support from the band, and like, if not as important, actually I think it's as important to be unapologetic about it. Like, your crap. you know your stuff, and just like carry yourself with dignity, and you have some balls.
You're totally right. Yes. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, that's the reason why you're here.
Yeah. True. And sometimes it's hard to realize it, and it's easy to get scared and to close yourself in a shell.
Yes.
And be like, oh my God, I'm not worthy, or like, I'm not good enough. But no, I mean, everyone goes through that, I think, or I think every performer goes through that, especially when you're a singer, and you have to, all eyes on you, all eyes and ears on you. So it's hard. I mean, it's easy to become insecure, and the world is watching you, and they're pointing out every flaw that you have.
Oh,
and
gruesome.
Yes, and some people are they're just harsh on you. You know what I mean? But you have to, like you said, you have to carry yourself and be. How can I say it? You have to trust yourself.
Yes.
Because people that are gonna get you, they're gonna get you. You're gonna, thrive.
Yeah, and as long as it feels good in your heart, that's everything that matters.
Of course,
really, and that shines through. Well, you said that you kind of jumped in this musical and artistic bubble from ground zero. Can you shine some light from to your musical background then?
Well, the thing is, I jumped into this live performance thing from zero, because I was always a studio singer, so a recording artist. I was always closed in my own little bubble, recording songs at home and writing. I've done so much writing on my own, lyrics and melodies. So I started when I was, I think, 17. But like, of course I was singing way before that, when I was like a little girl. But of course I had no idea what I was doing, because you know, I was just singing along to what I heard in the radio or on MTV, or you know, on television. But eventually I started to take it more seriously, and I thought, you know what, if I want to do this one day, I need to work on my voice and learn how to not hurt my voice, and how to do it properly, how to breathe, and learn a good technique.
Yes.
Yes. And so when I was 17, I started, you know, singing more seriously, not professionally yet, but I started, you know, taking singing lessons and exploring my voice. I started singing all kinds of music, from pop to metal, but like I wasn't really screaming, you know, metal meaning still clean voice. Yeah. I still sang clean voice. And so I started exploring what my voice could do, and I found it so fascinating, and that's why I'm into so many kinds of music, like from symphonic metal to metalcore to I don't know, pop music, R&B, like so many. I just love music as a whole. So as long as it gives me something, then I'm into it. You know, it doesn't matter, regardless of the genre. And so that's how I started, and I joined local bands in my city. We did a few shows, but nothing like this. Nothing like...
We did a couple of festivals.
Yeah, not really. No, we played like local shows for like maybe 100 people. Yeah. Which is still a lot. I mean, 100 people, when you're in front of them, it's still like, oh, wow, 100 people. So yeah, it was good for experience, but eventually I left those bands because I went to Canada. I lived there for 5 years because I just wanted to change my life, to like explore the world and become also financially stable, because I didn't really had a job in Italy at the time. And so I was like, you know what, it's time to take that step and do something bigger and scary, because it was so scary, you know, to go there and leave my family and friends here. And so I lived there for 5 years, and I didn't really start a band there because I was like, you know what, it's so much work to get, you know, 5 people or 4 people together and make sure we're all on the same page, and make sure we all have the same goals in life, or in music at least, as musicians. And so I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do my own thing. And so eventually I got contacted by some friends that were producing like electronic music, dance music, and they were like, hey, would you be open to record something on this song that we wrote? And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I loved trance music back in the day when I was a teenager.
Really?
Anyways.
All right.
Yeah, because I grew up in Romania, and that kind of music was huge, so, you know, I was very familiar with it.
Okay.
And so, you know, it's weird, from trance to metal.
Yeah, I mean, variety is the key.
A rainbow of musical genre.
Good music is good music. I mean.
Exactly, yeah. And so I started there. I started recording with my friends who were like DJs, producers, and I kept doing that because I was like, this is fun. I can do this at home. I like what I do. Like, I like the music. I like writing. I can write my own lyrics and melodies. So this is cool. And so I did that for like 5 or 6 years, and then I eventually came back home to Italy. And I started making YouTube covers because, you know, it's so funny. Eventually, you always go back to your roots. And my roots were always in rock and metal music.
Oh.
You can never run away from your roots. That's what I strongly believe. And I started, singing these covers and from, you know, my favorite bands, Nightwish, Wooden Temptation.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I started my channel, and it wasn't anything serious. I was just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even picking the hottest songs, you know, just to go big with my channel. I just wanted to have fun and, you know, sing my favorite songs that that only like the OG fans know from like Nightwish or Within Temptation, and so I did that, and eventually I ran into the news that DELAIN was looking for a new singer. Actually, no, there wasn't even a news about it. It was the news about the split, because they never really posted the news. Oh, hey, we're looking for a singer. You can contact us here. I just knew that the split happened, and I thought, well, maybe they're still looking for a singer, or maybe not. Who knows? Let's just try and reach out. And so I left a comment on their social media, which is funny. Like, who does that? Usually, you go through a process of, like a real audition, and you go somewhere,
and not just a comment.
Yes, exactly. It's so weird, but this is the power of social media today. You can reach anybody everywhere. And so I left a comment on their social media asking if I could audition, and I was like, they're never gonna get back to me because, first of all, they were working already on their album and on Dark Waters, and so I thought, well, they already found a singer probably. But they actually, Martijn reached out to me after that message, that comment, and he said that I was already on his list of singers to contact, because I know, right? He knew about my YouTube channel, about my covers on YouTube. He had watched them, and the Within Temptation ones, of course. Because he played in Within Temptation. And I was like, what? I was like, let me check if this is a fake account, because we have that nowadays. And so I checked, and no, it was him. And so I replied back, and he told me, yeah, you can audition. I'm gonna send you some songs that you can sing on. And then we went from there. He sent me Masters of Destiny and Burning Bridges. And I recorded those two first, and I sent them back, and he loved what I did. I tried to, put my spin on them and do it in my own way, but still keep the DNA of the songs. And then he sent me 2 original songs from the album as well, which happened to be The Quest and the Curse, which was the first single that we released last year, and Beneath.
All right.
Yeah, and so I recorded those 2, and he loved what I did on them, and he told me, well, what about, like, are you open to come to the Netherlands and meet up, and let's hang out together and see like how we click on a human level, because that's so important. That's the first thing that you need to check. And so I went to the Netherlands, and we met there. It was me, Martijn, Sander, and Ronald. And we met together. We had dinner, and we had a nice chat, and just like, friends. And it felt really good. It felt like we knew each other for so long, which felt so weird,
That's great.
That's so rare. It rarely happens in life. And so after that, I went home, and I think after a week or so, Martijn called me, and he told me, we would love to work with you because we love your voice. We think you're a good fit for the band. So here we are.
That's a great story. I would have never guessed that they just picked you, but kind of they found you from social media and vice versa. Actually,
it's crazy.
And that they already had their eyes on you.
They did. I was on the list with other singers, and it blew me away. I was like, how is this possible? Like, my channel was not that big, it was like a tiny one, but still, I guess YouTube suggested one of my videos on the home. See, it's
I don't believe in what's the word? En usko sattumiin. Auta mua. She's not good in English. Coincidences.
Yes, coincidence. Yeah.
I don't believe in coincidences.
Me neither. And this episode is one of those episodes that made me not believe in coincidences, because it's just not possible. When you connect the dots, you're like, this is not a coincidence.
Yeah,
it cannot be.
Too many weird things to just like happen randomly. Exactly. But that's a beautiful story. Oh my god, that's such an interesting story. Have you ever had an actual vocal lesson?
I did. So the first vocal lessons that I took, I did them for a year. I went to a music school in Torino, where I live, and I did that for a year, but then I wasn't really happy with the results I was getting.
Yeah.
So I started researching my own thing, and I found an incredible vocal coach. His name's Brett Manning, and I've been with him since I think I was, 20 or 19. He's brilliant. He's a brilliant teacher. So I've never actually met him in person because he's from Nashville. Oh, so he's from America, but yeah, I have his CDs and his programs, and so I basically did it like on my own at home, just training my own voice.
Kind of remote vocal coach.
Yes.
Vocal classes.
Yeah, but also singing a lot, like singing actual songs every day. It helps a lot. So you have to do both technique and also a lot of live singing. That helps a lot.
It all adds up to your stamina, and it's like one of the things that I constantly go through with my own students is that there are so like many different stages rather than just going through the songs. You have the warm-ups, you have the maybe more technical stuff, doing your runs, doing your vocal agility kind of stuff that can be also combined to the songs if you kind of do it on a more focused level, so that you are aware of the things that you do. Then if you want, you can do a cool down or that kind of stuff, so that you are not stuck in the high notes or too low notes.
Exactly.
Just to kind of balance yourself back on the speech level.
Yeah.
I actually have a question for you about, do you have any or have you had any light bulb moments in your singing career or history that was kind of, wow, if I do this, that happens with my technique? Can you share some of your light bulb moments?
I've had many. I've had many, because you know what, I think singing is of course physical. There's a lot going on in your body when you sing, but it's a lot of it is also mental. And when you're like stuck in a certain state of mind, your voice sounds different.
Totally.
So when you're like not totally relaxed, when you have so much going on in your mind, and the monkey never shuts down in your head, in your brain, your voice sounds different. There's more tension in the vocal cords, and also in here, in the diaphragm, and in your body in general. So I had moments, in my even my live performances, where I was like, okay, cool down, breathe, and just relax your mind and let the voice flow. And that helped so much. It's weird, because some people think, you can fix that problem if you do this exercise. But for me, the exercise was mentally to train my mind to just be, just let the voice flow. Don't worry, because your body knows what to do. You've done so much technique, you've done so many exercises throughout the years, so now just let it go.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, because I rant about the same stuff to my students about just letting it go. It's actually a more complicated thing than it sounds, but I love how you sum it up like that as well. It's a holistic thing, this singing thing. But this has so much to do with this and with this as well. And before you just let go, obviously you have to know your craft to some extent, but then in comes the mental game. Do you trust yourself? Do you trust your support? And after that, just open your mouth and trust that you can carry yourself, carry your voice. That's an excellent thing. Trust is a huge thing, and that is one of the aspects that takes a lot of training too. Especially if you are more of an introvert.
Which
type
I am.
Of a girl.
I am. I tend to like close myself and be in my own little bubble. And but that's not necessarily a bad thing, you know, because I know a lot of, well, not personally, but I follow a lot of like introvert performers, but when they go on stage, they have that aura around them, and they just shine just the way they are, like as introverts, you know. You can't really tell they are introverts when they are on stage, but that's not really a bad thing, because I know like a lot of people tend to say this, oh, you're an introvert, why don't you talk more, why aren't you so loud, or I don't know, but that's not a bad thing, you know, if you're more on your own and analyzing things and situations.
I mean, how boring would life be if we all would be the same?
Exactly.
Just be yourself, for God's sake. I mean, now that we have been dipping our toes into mental and I think also on well-being side, how do you take care of yourself and your voice touring?
That's a good question. Well, for me, while I was on tour, of course, sleep was crucial, which you never get enough when you're on tour. But also eating well helped for me a lot. So eating clean foods, vegetables. I don't eat gluten, so I eat
same girl.
Gluten-free. But also no milk for me. So
that's a good one.
No gluten, no milk, and that helps a lot because I have zero mucus in my throat. Well, not zero, but you know, very, very little. And it just helps with, you know, gut health and my digestion, and that helps, of course, when I sing. So those two things, sleep and eating healthy. And of course, you can prepare yourself mentally, of course, with a bit of meditation, which I do sometimes. I wish I was more consistent with meditation because it helps so much with just being in the moment and taking it all in. But those three things.
It's a good combo and super important, and something that I wish more of singers would take care of because it's huge.
But also being silent and not talking too much, because in a tour bus everyone talks, everyone yells, and they laugh and they joke, and it's tempting because you want to jump in the conversation and engage with people, but I try like silently laugh, because even laughing affects your vocal cords, at least mine. If I laugh too much, you know, and I'm loud, like it affects my vocal cords, so I tend to be, you know, quiet. And it helped because I haven't had any problems on the European tour. I haven't lost my voice once. I was so surprised. I was like, good job, buddy. I pat myself on the shoulder.
That's good. God, I have like so much to ask from you. I really hope that we can like do this sometime soon again to kind of dip our toes more into like the process of your writing and everything, but I'm afraid we need to let you go very soon. I have a couple of more questions regarding the songs that you are going to perform today. What is the song that you are most excited to perform today at Tuska Festival?
Well, Moth to a Flame is a favorite.
That was one of my favorites.
That one, because the lyrics speak to me so much, and it's such a cool song, powerful. It's belted. It's, you know, I just let it go and connect to the lyrics and just sing my heart out. Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, just kind of
to perform it.
Let yourself loose.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that so much. Talking about like good songs, now you're touring. Can you spill me some secrets? What's on your playlist when you tour? What are your which songs are your road trip songs?
There's so many. Oh my god. Well, I listen to a lot of Tesseract.
All right.
You know them?
I don't.
You should check them out. They are amazing. I love them so much. And also Spirit Box is actually a new band that I discovered.
Yeah.
And I really love her vocals. I think she's brilliant.
Yeah, Courtney is.
Yeah, and the songwriting is top notch. So those two bands, and also Paramore. Yeah. I love her. I've been a fan since my teenage years, since I was like 17. Paramore, always on my playlist.
Yeah, well, like link some under this video and on this video. But thank you so much. Thank you for those singing tips, and we are looking forward partying in the front freaking row to the Like Moth to a Flame.
Yes. Thank you for having me. This was such a fun interview.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you guys. See you in the next interview. Bye.
Bye.